We are Friday, the 25th of June, and we are on the tram bus, taking us into the centre of Nimes. We did initially blunder straight into the low emission zone, but we think we got away with it. By that, we didn't get stopped by anybody. Whether or not we'll get a fine through the post, time will tell. But we've since found a park and ride, and we are now on the tram bus. So, what do we know about Nimes? Well, it was an important outpost for the Roman Empire, and as such, it has many a Roman artifact or building still present. And we're kicking off with Porte Augustus, which is one of the principal entrances into the old city. There behind me. And lurking in there somewhere is the statue of Emperor Augustus. It is scorching today. I think it was pushing 36 degrees when we got out of the van. And I think the forecast is 39. So we're going to get warm today. Again. We are going to give Nimes a bit more of a chance than what we did for Avignon. So we are going to have a wander around. But in reality, we will be scratching on the surface. We're going to be here for a few hours before we move on in search of somewhere cooler. So we'll say goodbye to Emperor Augustus and head further into the city. First impressions of the tram bus are better than what we had at Avignon. Although the city has clearly been modernised since its Roman days, it looks a lot prettier. Next we have the Cathedral Notre-Dame. The name is much longer than that. Too long for me to remember for this video, so I'll stick it down below. Check out those carvings across the top there. Like the cathedral, this imposing structure is clearly not Roman. Certainly not with a clock on it, all the way up there. Le Tower de l'Horloge, or Horloge, something like that. Used to ring the hours. And was built at the beginning of the 15th century. Next we have La Maison carrée. I was reading this was built by one of the emperor's 4 Augustus grandchildren. I probably got that wrong, but I'll clarify down below. This was restored in 1992 by Norman Foster, no less. Unfortunately, it is closed for entry at this time due to the Festival of Nimes. Pretty impressive, even if it is restored. We have saved the best for the last, for Nimes has an amphitheatre, which is where we're going next. From what we've already seen of it, from the tram bus, it looks pretty damn impressive. The increasing density of cafes would indicate that we are almost upon it. In fact, there it is, just beyond the umbrellas. It is not as big as the Colosseum in Rome, but it is equally as impressive. And it is still in active use for concerts and the likes. Unfortunately for us, a bit like Maison carrée, it is closed. We're closed at 3 and it is now 3:05. Closed for the Festival of Nimes. Bit of a bummer, hey? So we won't be going in. Well, they appear to have quite a few big acts lined up to play. We're at 26, so tonight it is Gladiator Live, whatever that is. Jamiroquai on the 2nd of July, and a whole load of names I don't recognise. Although I do a few. Oh look, The Cure, 24th, 25th and 26th. Goth Night in Nimes. Apparently it is also still used for bullfights. That does surprise me. Even in Spain, bullfights are getting unpopular. From this angle, we can see it in all its glory. There was even a bullfighter over there, down to the right. Decision time for us. We are struggling with the heat. I think everyone is struggling with the heat. So I think we're going to have a bit of a big push westwards and south down towards the Pyrenees. The idea being that we can get up high, get away from the heat, but it's a long drive. We won't get there today, I don't think. So we'll push west. For the evening, we have found this little camping car park spot on the shores of Lake Salagou, which is off to my right. As you can hear, the cicadas are in full volume. I don't know if it's because of the lake, but the temperature here is really quite pleasant. A nice coolish breeze, which actually is coming off the lake behind me. So hopefully not as hot as it was last night. We are in bitey bug country. So I have a mosquito coil on the table and a candle in the doorway, in the somewhat vain hope to keep the bugs out of the van. But I needn't worry too much, because Karen is the bug magnet. They generally avoid me and go for Karen.